Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you're Insomnia, this channel is for you. If somebody asked you what they should do in preparation for a marathon that is tomorrow, you'd probably say, gosh, there isn't that much you can do right now. We're going to see how that applies to that hour before sleep. There isn't too much you can do to improve the chances of sleep, but there's a whole lot you can do to destroy those odds. Welcome back. Hope you're doing fantastic. And if you're new, a big welcome to you as well, of course. Hope you had a good weekend. It is Monday today. And I have what I think is a really good and important analogy to share. Before I do, I just want to share something that's a little bit more on a personal note. It'll just take maybe a minute or so. I want to say like 9 months ago or so, I was listening a lot to following this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V. Some of you are familiar with him, and he's big on kind of social media. He has a big company. He gives a lot of entrepreneurial advice, things like that. And one thing that he said that stuck with me was like, whatever you're interested in, you should talk about it. Just put your thoughts out there, interact with people. And that made me start this channel. So I haven't been following him too much since then, but he has this sneaker deal with K-Swiss, and he's created a sneaker called Clouds and Dirt. Clouds is like, you kind of have to be, have a, your mind is in the clouds, you have a big vision, and dirt is like, you got to do the work, And then he also talks a lot about how, you should approach any effort like a marathon. Like there's no finishing line. You should just keep doing it forever. And like this channel, for example, there's no finish line. I'm just gonna keep doing this in perpetuity. Really, that's my plan. Now, so where am I going with this? Well, I decided to run a marathon in those sneakers I just showed you. And that's going to be September 21st, so a little less than a month from today. And I have started preparing, including running about half a marathon in those shoes. It went pretty good, so I'm going to keep going. But here's the analogy. As I've been preparing, one of the things that came to me as I was running was this. If this marathon that I'm planning to run was, next week even, let alone tomorrow, that it's too late. There really isn't anything to do at that point. Preparation kind of has to begin at least several weeks out. You have to get those milestones, get in shape, get know your shoes, whatever, and that will increase. Like the more you the earlier you start preparing, the better shape you get in, the higher the likelihood that you're going to finish that marathon. And that made me think of sleep. As always, when I do things, I always think about sleep. And I thought about how often, one of the most common questions I get in clinic is, what should I do the hour before sleep? And I understand that, because there's so much focus on that hour before you go to bed. People tell you should you should wind down, you should avoid screens, you should not exercise too much, but maybe a little bit, you should eat but not too much, and all that implies that there's a whole lot of things that you can kind of tweak or change or do to produce sleep, to kind of increase the chances of you sleeping and sleeping well. That is not the case. That hour before you go to bed, let's say you typically go to bed, 11 p.m., that hour between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m., there really isn't anything you can do to increase the chances of you sleeping well. It is too late. And why is that? Well, it's because the only thing that really produces sleep is wakefulness. Just that's the only thing that really produces hunger, and us eating more is fasting, right? So preparation starts immediately after you wake up. Let's say 17 hours before you go to bed, they count. Like really everything counts. So what does increase your chances of getting good sleep is starting preparation, if you will, early on. Meaning you get out of bed at, let's say, 6 a.m. and you do that consistently. and then you are as active as you can during the day. If you have work, well, that's that takes care of several hours. But even after that, you have to make sure you stay awake, that you don't take naps or micro sleep. And even more importantly, that you're distracted from, thoughts about insomnia and sleep, that you do something that you enjoy, whatever it is really. Like, you like exercising, great. You like meditation, great. You like baking, great. Whatever it is, do something that keeps your mind off of sleep. And then when you approach that hour before you go to bed, know that there isn't anything you can do right now to like produce sleep. That I hope will take some pressure off. But as I alluded to earlier on, there's a whole lot you can do to kind of destroy your chances. Just as, going back to the marathon analogy, if my marathon is tomorrow and I decided to run a half a marathon today, that's probably not a good idea. It's probably going to destroy my chances of running well the day of the marathon. Going back to sleep again, if you decide, it's an hour before I go to bed, I'm getting a little bit nervous, stressed out, worried, I think I'm going to Google this and try to see, what I can do. Or no, you know what? I'm going to go on this Reddit group and talk to people. That for sure is going to increase your anxiety and decrease your odds of sleeping well. Or as I talked with Mike in the other week about, like, if you decide to read the news and the state of the world and blah, 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 things that stress you out, that's for sure not a good thing to do that hour before you go to bed. So I hope this was a helpful analogy, and anyone out there that feels that these videos are helpful and they're probably all I need, that is perfect. Please comment, send me emails. That is super helpful. If somebody out there has an iPhone and is looking for a more kind of curated roadmap towards sleeping well, and would like to have myself and all I know about sleep in their pocket, then please check out Bedtime with a Y on the App Store. I think I've never shared this, but I want to do this. I hope to one day be completely focused on this insomnia, and making a difference. And I hope this app will be a path to that place. And I think it's really good. The first clients have really liked it. And if you have an Android, it's going to happen. It's probably going to take several months, but it's coming to that platform as well. So with that said, hope you do really well the rest of your day here, and I shall be back tomorrow. Until then, take it easy.